Good afternoon and welcome to the March 18th meeting of the Parks Recreation and Community Services Commission. May we have the roll call, please?
Certainly. Commissioners Kalfayan?
Yes.
Meek?
Present.
Yes, here.
Sardarbagian?
Present.
Ex officio Commissioners Kevorkian?
Here.
Manasian is absent, President Alcazar is absent, and President Pro Tem Wolfson.
Here.
Okay. The agenda for the March 18, 2024 regular meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall on or before Friday, March 15, 2024. Item 2, introductions and presentations. At A, introduction of new or promoted CSP employees.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Wolfson, members of the commission. I'd like to invite our Workforce Development Administrator, Ms. Judy Velasco, to present her newly promoted employee.
Hi, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to present to you Tina Hartjan. She's been newly promoted to Workforce Development Supervisor with the Workforce section. Previously, she held the title of Caseworker 2. So I just wanted to share a little bit about all the hard work that Tina does for us at the Verdugo Job Center. She oversees what we call business services. So what that means is she coordinates multiple job fairs during the year. Some of the job fairs I have spoken about during the meetings are the Tech Job Fair. Recently this year, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of job fairs due to the layoffs, so she's instrumental in coordinating with both employers, our partners, and the clients that we serve to make sure they're aware of these opportunities. She also oversees our skills training program, so anytime anybody requests a skills training, if they were recently laid off, Tina's the person to see. She actually is very familiar with all the training vendors and the schools and the programs, and she counsels each client in the different training opportunities that they have available. She's also our coordinator of rapid response. So again, our rapid response program is the program in which if a company lays off, they alert us and we then comprise a team of individuals and resources to the impacted workers. So Tina coordinates our rapid response in our region. So anytime, again, there's a layoff in our region, she will coordinate with the impacted workers, the business, to make sure everybody's aware of the different services. So again, she works on different areas. She's a critical member of our team, and we're very excited that she is in this new role.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you. Very excited.
Congratulations, and thank you for all the work you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, you're working with a great group of people over there, and
Yes, I am.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Kimo Kambia, our Senior Park Services Manager, overseeing Section 2.
Good afternoon, Pro Tem President Wolfson, members of commission, colleagues, and guests. I'm here to introduce to you Gonzalo de la Cerda. Mr. de la Cerda has worked for the city for 7 years. He began in April of 2017 as a seasonal laborer and quickly showed that he had promise. Prior to working for Glendale, Gonzalo worked at Warner Brothers Studios, Burbank Unified School District, and has spent many years as a private gardener taking care of landscape maintenance at a number of private residences, businesses, and commercial properties. So when he began to work for the city, he required very little in the way of training. All we had to do was point him in the right direction, and for the most part, he took over from there. Mr. de la Cerda has done some amazing work over the years. His assigned parks are usually very clean and detailed, which are a reflection of his high standard to which he holds himself. He's also very mechanically inclined. When we used to use gas-powered equipment, Mr. de la Cerda was able to tackle most repairs on his own equipment by himself, and he also took care of repairs for his fellow staff members as well. He was very resourceful in that, and many times he was able to get things running with parts that he had harvested from retired units that we had stored in our maintenance yards. On a personal note, he's the father of 2, a son and a daughter, who are both well into their adult years, and he lives here in Glendale with his wife. Gonzalo has been and continues to be hardworking, punctual, dependable, and a treasured addition to the maintenance team in Section 2. I present to you our recently promoted groundskeeper to Gonzalo de la Cerda.
Thank you very much, everybody. Nice to meet you, everybody, and a little bit nervous about that, huh? But I'm all right. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Congratulations
And I'm
and,
very happy to work with the city of Glendale.
yeah.
We're lucky to have you, too. Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank
we're
you so
very
much.
glad to
Thank
have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Next up is Mr. Gondetti, Senior Park Service Manager, to present his newly promoted employee.
Mispronounced my name. It's Gaudenti.
Gondetti.
President Pro Tem Wolfson and Park Commission members, good afternoon. I'd like to introduce you to Jose Nuno. He's been with us for quite a while. Jose has been with the city of Glendale since April 14th of 1999, where he was hired as a seasonal laborer. He was then promoted to the position of Groundskeeper 1 in 2005, and he was then promoted to his current position of Groundskeeper 2 January 28th of this year, where he works he works at the south end of Verdugo Park and Verdugo Adobe. Jose is married and has 2 sons, and one of his sons also works for the Parks Department. He works on the project crew, which Chris Peplo oversees. We're happy to have Jose Nuno working for the Parks Department for the city of Glendale, and we hope that he stays with us for a long time. And something that I didn't write down is that often Jose and I have the same schedule. We get to work at 9 and then we leave at 3:30. And oftentimes, why is that funny? Anyways, yeah, I'm often driving around, and sometimes I don't get back to Verdugo until about 3:20, 3:25, and often I will see him still working out along the street at Verdugo Park, mowing, pulling weeds, edging. So he has a very good work ethic, and I think we're very lucky to have him. I present to you Jose Nuno.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving the job.
Thank you for taking care of the Adobe, too.
I try the best I can.
It's a very nice place.
Congratulations, and thank you for keeping Verdugo Park and the Adobe so beautiful.
I just want to add, you've been employed here before I was even born, so thank you.
All right. Mayor, apologies. President Pro Tem Wolfson, members of the commission, I have one employee that I would like to congratulate. As we all know, Mr. Peplo has been our interim Park Services Administrator since October. Once when Mr. Panosian left for the city of Pasadena, I had asked Chris to step in and oversee the Park Services section. I'm happy to announce that Mr. Peplo is now our permanent Park Services Administrator. Just a few things about Chris. He was born and raised in Glendale, attended Glendale schools. He started working for the city in 2002 as a park maintenance supervisor. In 2004, he moved to Brand Park. In 2005, he was promoted to Park Services Manager, and he was at Brand for 11 years. And in 2014, the section created a project group which oversaw special projects, and he oversaw the project group. In 2022, a little over a year ago, he was promoted to Senior Park Services Manager, and now he has been promoted to Park Services Administrator. I truly appreciate Chris's can-do attitude. As you know, whenever you call Chris, you give him an idea or you ask him to do something, he won't say no. He'll always say yes, and I appreciate that. And of course, I'm looking forward to working with Chris for many, many, many years to come. One thing about Chris is that he does have a bachelor's degree in accounting, but he's into horticulture and trees and open space, which is great for us because that's what he loves to do, and that's what the Park Services section does. So I do like to congratulate Chris and welcome to the management team.
Thank you very much, Onig. Thank you, members of the commission.
Thank you so much for stepping into the large shoes left by Coco, and you're doing a great job. And
Thank you very much.
so
I
glad you're
greatly
here.
appreciate it. I love working here.
Thank you.
We're glad you didn't get scared off by Mr. Onik.
Onig and I go way back to when he was at Pacific.
Nice.
We worked very closely together.
Okay, next on the agenda, item 3, upcoming council agenda items.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Wilson, members of the commission. We have 2 items coming up this next month, both of them on March 26th. The first item will be authorized submission of project application and acceptance of California Department of Parks and Recreation, Office of Grants and Local Services grant funds for Fremont Park renovation project in the amount of $933,000. Second item is award of professional services agreement with Biocom California Institute in the amount not to exceed $285,000 at $95,000 per year from January 1, 2024 to January 29, 2027.
Next item.
Item 4, commission staff comments.
Buddy?
I wanted to say that I went to the Uniqueness Festival the other day. I'm very glad, happy that the city is doing that. It shows the diversity within our city, and I'm very hopeful that it will keep happening every year and even expanding.
Where is that?
Pardon?
Where was
It was at the YAMCA upstairs in the gym. Also, I'm planning to go to this Saturday's extravaganza at the Pacific Park, and I urge anyone else who's family, or if you happen to really enjoy egg hunting, come to that too. The last thing I wanted to mention is I would like to find out if we're going to get an update on what we're doing with artificial turf once it's been used and has to be disposed of. Thank you.
Thank you. I was happy to attend the MyGlendale basketball championship, which was really, really cool to see our parks department in action. I have some pictures actually I have to share. So there's John and I. It was an awesome event. We got to pass out some awards, some trophies and medals. Muir was our winning team this time, but you know they're all winners in our book, and it was so nice just to see everybody kind of have that team. You know, here we have the 2 teams, and one side was crying, one side was cheering, but at the same time they were so happy to high-five each other and just play, you know, and that's really, really nice to see. So it's super awesome to be there. I look forward to more events like that. Yeah, so there's some pictures of that. And then my second ask is I did join a special education panel recently, and one of their questions was about inclusive playgrounds. And I know that we do have one Onig mentioned at Maple Park. They want to kind of know what that looks like, and I wanted to see if we can maybe agendize an item for next commission meeting to just review, and I'll invite them for comments as well. I knew they were asking for maybe indoor inclusive playground. I know that's very tough with the space that we have, but if we can maybe start a conversation about, you know, what we have and what we can improve on, maybe that would be helpful for the community.
I should think that we could put that on the agenda to have like sort of just a review of the existing Maple Park inclusive playground. I'm not sure about indoor inclusive playgrounds. I don't know very much about that. Yes.
Usually playgrounds indoor, they're done privately.
Right.
Or each community has its own in the mall or something else. You have to go and pay.
Right.
You take your kids at a certain age. That's how it's done.
Right.
We never done it for the public. The community does it for them.
Thank you for that information.
President Pro Tem Wolfson, members of the commission, we'll come back with a oral report. We will highlight Shane's Inspiration Playground, our all-inclusive playground, as well as a number of all-inclusive amenities that we have throughout our park system. While we renovate our new playgrounds, we do include a small all-inclusive component, let it be a shared swing, shared slide, and so on. So we'll bring the report back to commission. Our goal would be April, no later than May.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Have we secured the funds for Pacific, the park that we're renovating? The Fairmont Park. We have secured all the expenses?
President Kofayan, yes. The funding for Fremont Park, it has been fully funded at 100%.
Okay, next item.
Next is item 5, oral communications. I don't have any callers or cards. Item 6, consent items. At A is approval of the minutes of the commission special meeting held on January 22nd, 2024.
I will move it.
I will second.
Roll call.
Commissioners Kalfayan?
Yes.
Meek?
Yes.
Sarder-Beghian?
Yes.
President Alcazar is absent, and President Pro Tem Wolfson.
Yes.
Okay. Item 7, reports information only. At A is workforce development section, activity report.
Hi, good afternoon, President Pro Tem Wilson, members of the commission. I'd like to share with you some programs and updates from my section. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things as listed in your report. The first one being this year, starting 2024, we already started planning for job fairs. So we had a healthcare job fair at our location at the Verdugo Job Center on January 23rd. Again, with a focus on healthcare, we had about 10 employers. They had diverse entry-level positions in this field. We've noticed over the past year, healthcare is an industry that's growing, that has multiple openings year-round. We had about over 200 people in attendance at the job fair. We actually had a group of students from Job Corps. Job Corps is a grant-funded program that has students on site where they provide skills training. They came to our facility on a bus, so 30 students came. So we really did I think a great job outreaching to ensure that we had this opportunity available for the community. In addition to the healthcare job fair, we also participated in the Auto Tech Career Day, which was held this past March 12th. Now, we didn't organize this career day, but we participated in it in that we provided assistance to the students who actually gained exposure to the Auto Career Day. It was organized by the California New Car Dealership Association, as well as the Greater Los Angeles New Car Dealership Association. So they connected with us, and we connected them with the local school districts, Glendale Unified School District, Glendale Community College, the local school districts, to ensure that students had the opportunity to see what careers are in this field. It was a successful event, and I also want to add, in our participation with this organization, the event was held at the Civic. They actually had a lot of accolades for the venue and the city staff. So they were very impressed by our city staff overall, and I think this is going to be an annual event we'll see here. Additionally, I want to share some business engagements we've done recently. In this year, I have seen a slew of layoffs happening in our region, unfortunately. And the layoffs have come in different industries. It's come in entertainment, media, technology, such as retail. So what we're doing as we see these layoffs, we're applying for additional funding to support the impacted workers. So the funding that we receive is mostly federal funds, but we also have local, state, and foundation funds. But the federal funds allow us to provide training, to upskill, to help in different ways the impacted workers. As we see the layoffs, as we saw in our region, just as a reminder, comprises of the city of Glendale, Burbank, and La Chiana Flint Ridge. So we're part of the Verdugo Consortium. There was a large layoff, the JPL layoff, that affected 521 workers. So due to the layoff, we will be seeking additional assistance to help those impacted workers. So as we see layoffs, we do apply for these funds to help us provide these additional services. We also have a grant called the Regional Equity and Recovery Partnership Grant. This grant is a regional grant with the 7 other workforce boards in the LA Basin region. The goal of the grant is to connect people to high growth career pathways. Our focus has been the bioscience field, which I've shared before. There's a lot of opportunities for people without a bachelor's degree. They could just need to complete a career technical program in bioscience to be engaged in a high growth career pathway. So this grant allows us to pay for training for people currently in bioscience programs in Glendale Community College, as well as Los Angeles Mission College. So this is really, the grant covers the cost of the training as well as other supportive services they need. And for this grant, we were awarded $387,000, about that, dollars to help 45 participants achieve their goal in being trained in bioscience. Skills training is a core service we offer at the Verdugo Job Center. It's kind of our #1 requested service. I would say this fiscal year, we have already obligated and expended our training funds. That's unusual. Usually our training funds, we have sufficient to last us through the whole fiscal year, which is June 30th. This kind of speaks to the level of layoffs we've seen. So as people are displaced, they come see us and we connect them to different opportunities. But because of the economy and different other factors, we've seen the increased rise this fiscal years, and unlike other years, of our training funds. So that's why one of the reasons we always try to develop other funding opportunities, to always have different funding streams to support the need that we're seeing currently in the community. So currently, for this fiscal year, we've already provided training or enrolled training for over 270 clients. And that's a huge number for us, and that's a combination of all of our different grants. Before I moved on to our youth programs, I wanted to see if anybody had any questions specifically to our adult programs. No?
I have one.
Yes, Commissioner.
I've been reading lately about the dearth of, I'm going to call them restaurant inspectors within the county. And I was wondering, are we looking forward to that, since that's definitely an employment possibility?
You know, thank you so much, Commissioner Meek. I haven't heard of that, but definitely something I will research. I know overall I've seen, they talk a lot about an aging workforce, that we see what is the succession plan for certain type of industries and positions, but that is one I haven't looked into, but definitely will see where there are opportunities that we can connect people to.
Seeking 69 employees.
Okay, for LA County?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how many, they're understaffed.
There was an article just, I think maybe it was last weekend in the LA Times.
Okay. I will definitely research that, because any way we can connect the community with these opportunities is a plus. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Just thank you so much. I had one quick question. Do you have any, do you get any information about the results of the job fairs and how many people actually got jobs and such like?
Yeah, so one of the things we try to do is after the job fair, we connect with all the employers. So every employer has a different hiring process. I would say for healthcare specifically, there's various stages of the hiring process. So once they've completed, which can take at least for some could be a month, we do reach out to them to see if they can share that information. Sometimes they're reluctant to, but sometimes we do try our best to either communicate with them directly and or the client who participated in the job fair, because our goal is to show the numbers, to show the impact. So I would say it's 50-50. So our staff persistently contact the clients who have shared with us that they have been scheduled for interviews, but we also contact both. So overall, based on the data that we have received, we see anywhere between a 70 to 80% success rate of placements, specifically for healthcare. just because it is one of those industries that we see volumes of people being hired at a time. Especially in the field of CNA, certified nursing assistants, phlebotomists. There are certain specific titles that they need people to start working as of yesterday. So they try to speed that up because of the demand. So, but overall, that's what we see, 70 to 80%.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure. If there's any, I can continue on with the youth. Yes, perfect. So our youth program run by the Glendale Youth Alliance, they're currently accepting applications for the Summer Youth Employment Program. So usually younger youth ages 14 to 16 are placed to do summer brush clearance, and it's a great first-time job experience to be out there working in a team and completing a goal together. So we currently are accepting applications for that program. That program usually starts July 1st, but applications we start collecting as of March. So anybody interested, they can call our offices or visit us, and we can make sure that they fill out the paperwork that's needed. We also have a STEP program is for youth with disabilities. So any youth who has an IEP or a 504 plan, they're eligible and they're enrolled in school to obtain work experience. We find that exposure to work experience at an early age is a great thing. So that way, once they decide what their career path is, they have that experience of soft skills, learning to work in an office or in the field with others, all the important skills, if you learn earlier on, really set you up for success in your career. So we have a program currently with youth with disabilities called STEP, and we're always enrolling for that program. Currently, we have about 31 youth enrolled. And the last program is the Life Wrap program, which is funded through Measure S funding. And we got funded this year to serve 10 families with rental assistance and case management to help them achieve self-sufficiency. So we're excited about this program. Applications actually closed this past Friday, so we're going to start the process of reviewing the applications. Two other items under Glendale Youth Alliance. They do have a fundraiser, and I know the flyer is attached, for a joint collaboration with Glendale Chamber of Commerce to do a charity golf tournament on 2024. So that is scheduled for May 20th, 2024. And also they were recently recognized by the Glendale Latino Association to be Organization of the Year on February 29th. So that was a great recognition of their work in the community with youth. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the golf tournament the first time they do together with the chamber?
Yes, this is the first time they collaborate with the chamber.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next, 7B, Recreation and Community Services Section, Monthly Activity Report for January and February 2024.
Good afternoon, President Pro Tem Wilson, members of the Commission. My name is Sabah Garabedian, Community Services Manager, and I oversee the community centers and the programming out of those centers. So we're going to give you our brief higher-end report for January and February, because 2 months is a lot of time to be reporting really quickly. So we're going to start off with summer day camps registration. Summer day camp registration began on Monday, March 4 for Glendale residents, and on Wednesday, March 6 for everybody, non-residents and general registration. On registration day, we sold out Nature Camp at Duke-Majan Park, Spectacular Camp at Verdugo, Blast Camp at Brand, and Kinder Camp at Pacific. When we opened it up for registration for everybody else on March 6th, we sold out Cool Days Camp at Pacific. So far, in terms of the camps that the department operates, we still have Maple, Teens, Spar, and some spaces left in our skate camp. So most all of them have already sold out within the week that we started operating our registration. We had 2 Parents' Night Out events on February 16 and on February 23 at Pacific on the 16th and the 23rd at Spar Heights Community Center. Each night, kids came from 6 to midnight Parents dropped them off. The kids were given lunch. They played in games, various activities, ended the night with a movie, while the parents were out and about doing whatever they wanted while we took care of the kids. We had 25 participants at Pacific and another 10 participants at SPAR. In January, we finished the One Glendale Volleyball Season Championship. Marshall was our volleyball season champions. Here you see a picture of them hoisting the trophy during the championship night. And immediately after volleyball season finished, we went on to basketball. The season started. We went through, and the championships took place on Friday, March 1st at Pacific Community Center. Before the championship game, we had the hoop bus come and visit the kids and add to the evening's festivities. The hoop bus is seen on NBA's 75th anniversary commercials. That was really fun for the kids to see. And then, of course, the 2 games at night. And John Muir Elementary won the basketball season championship. In the process, you see the kids doing some BMI tests. Glendale Police Department had their new outreach dog, Brisket, visiting the kids. So the kids had a chance to play with the dog as well during the evening. Our Trails and Open Space program, we had 6 volunteers on January 13 in Riverwalk Workday, 12 volunteers on January 20th for Wilderness Workday, and 13 participants attended the Friday night lecture series on January 26th, aerial photos of the Crescenta Valley. On February 10th, 12 volunteers participated in the Riverwalk Workday, and 29 volunteers participated in the Wilderness Workday on February 17th. On February 27, 37 students from the One Glendale program participated in the GO program over at the Glendale Sports Complex. The Storm Bar Nature Center in January had 958 visitors stop by, and in February, 944 guests stopped by. The January monthly GO program, community program, was held on the 13th of January with 34 participants. The February monthly GO program was held on February 10th. Storm Bar Nature Center had some field trips. On January 23rd, St. Francis Xavier School from Burbank visited the barn for a field trip with 28 fifth graders. And in February, Charmeleon Armenian School visited the facility with 95 fourth graders. Wonder the Wilderness bus began thanks to funding from Metro. The city is now offering free weekend transportation to the Duke and back to South Glendale parks. So the bus will pick you up at either Maple Park Community Center or Pacific Community Center, depending on the day, take you to the Duke while you participate in programmed activities, and then return back to those facilities by around noon. Our Youth and Family Services section continued its operations during the months of January and February. Teen night outs were being held on a weekly basis. In addition to programming and some presentations, our teen night out participants assisted our staff with getting ready for various One Glendale seasons, and they assisted our staff in creating Valentine's Day grams that we gave out at the Adult Recreation Center and Spar Heights Community Center. They were integral in making the championship games a success as well. Youth and Family Services STAR program focused on their 6 pillars of character, and they had their journal entries, and they continued meeting throughout the 2 months on a weekly basis, whether with their officer doing their lesson plans or with the sponsors from the Glendale Association of Realtors who sponsor their weekly dinner. Therapeutic Recreation had its MIP Day on January 20th. January 20th MIP Day was canceled due to rain. It had its MIP Day on February 17th. The theme was Valentine's Day. On Thursday, January 25, Club Maple participants had a karaoke night, and on February 8th, they had a Valentine's Day party. Our senior programs and presentations continued during these 2 months as well. It included blood pressure screenings, a conversation about geriatrics and senior health, as well as smartphone trainings at the Adult Recreation Center and at Spar Heights Community Center. We try to offer whatever presentations at both facilities to accommodate to participants at each location. Of course, the seniors had their Valentine's Day luncheon on February 14. We like to celebrate events on the day of the event. So if Valentine's Day falls on a weekday where we're offering our lunch program, that's when we will have our celebration, or we'll go to the closest Thursday to that event. TNO and STAR participants, as I mentioned earlier, made the little candy grams that we gave out to the seniors with little gift cards and Valentine's. In the month of January, the Senior Meals Program served 3,357 meals in person, and 1,449 meals were served via home delivery. And in the month of February, 3,240 meals were served in person, and 1,680 meals were served to seniors at their home. We had 49 unduplicated clients in the SSP program in January, and 48 unduplicated clients in the month of February. Moving on, upcoming special events. Yes, this Saturday, March 23 from 11 to 2 is the department's annual spring extravaganza taking place at Pacific Community Center, where we will feature a picture opportunity with the Easter Bunny and an egg hunt, of course. The department's carnival games will be out along with our newly purchased Glendale Rocks climbing wall. The old wall was about 20 years old. We took it out of operation and we brought our new wall in. So that'll be making its second appearance, the first one being the One Glendale Championship Day. Also on the same evening, we have a full moon night hike taking place at Duke-Magian Wilderness Park from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, March 24, we have a Victorian Easter egg hunt at the Doctor's House and Museum. We expect everybody to show up in their Easter finest to participate in a Victorian theme style Easter egg hunt. Our Youth and Family Services section staff are also responsible for coordinating our high school resource fairs. A couple of weeks ago, we had one already at Glendale High School, and these are the 3 high schools that we haven't attended yet. They're coming up starting next week and then on through the month of April. So we will be at Hoover High School, Crescenta Valley High School, and Clark Magnet High School, talking about various job openings that we have with the city, along with our city departments joining us as well. So if somebody's interested in becoming a firefighter, somebody from Glendale Fire will be helping them along the way in that application process. If they want to work for Parks Department or Human Resources or Public Works, we have departments attending and joining us as well. It's a good way to collect and gather applications from our kids in our own community. Teen Night Outs will continue through the month of May. When GUSD is on break, we will not be offering Teen Night Out. So Friday, while GUSD is on spring break this week, we won't be having Teen Night Out, but whoever is watching is encouraged always to double check before they head out to the park. And then Saturday, March 30th, not this Saturday, the following Saturday, Pacific will be hosting the city's annual Cesar Chavez commemorative event from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We just confirmed our keynote speaker from the Cesar Chavez Foundation, Manuel Bernal. He was our keynote speaker from a couple of years ago, and he was the foundation's CFO. That should be interesting. The program, the official program will start at 1:30. The event will open at 1. Some entertainment from 1 to 1:30. Program at 1:30 until 4 o'clock. We have a CDBG community meeting talking about the 2024-2025 action plan. That'll take place on Wednesday, April 10th at 7 p.m. at Pacific Community Center upstairs in the Sycamore Room. Then on Friday, April 12th, we have our annual Glendale Dodger Night, a fundraiser for the Glendale Parks and Open Space Foundation. Tickets are on sale for $65 a ticket. The game starts at 7:10 p.m. and the evening should conclude with a drone show, if I'm not mistaken. We have Riverwalk work days coming up on April 13, May 11, and June 8. Our Glendale Outdoors Go community program is coming up on Saturday, April 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Duke-Magian Wilderness Park. And the Wander the Wilderness bus will be operating again in the month of April 14 and 28 at Maple Park Community Center, April 6 and 20 out of Pacific Community Center. And that concludes my presentation. If anybody has any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
A couple. The April 10th Pacific Park Community Meeting, and that's for what?
That's the community meeting for the CDBG 2024-2025 action plan.
Okay. And the Wander the Bus, is that for anyone who shows up at the parks?
That is correct, Commissioner Meek. President Pro Tem Wolfson, members of the commission, the Wonder the Wilderness bus is open to anybody who would like to attend.
So
They
you don't
just
need
show
a
up.
reservation, just show up?
You just show up.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
About our auto show.
Our auto show? Our Glendale Cruise Night is set. Gabriel, I'm gonna look at you for the date. July 20th, 2024, Brand Boulevard of Cars, between Broadway and Doran, I want to say. Any other questions? Milford? Doran is the closure, so don't drive past Doran, but Milford is where the main stage will be.
Thank you. Nice to see Brisket, visiting everybody.
Yeah, but we've kept Brisket rather busy. It'll be at the extravaganza too.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, 7C, Park Services Section Monthly Activity Report for December 2023 and January 2024.
President Pro Tem Molson, members of commission, this is the report for December and January. In December, we did 71 work orders for repair and preventive maintenance tasks. The groundskeepers were 52, 0 for pesticide applicator, 19 for irrigation repair, for a total of 278.75 hours. In January, we did 69 work orders for non-routine work and preventive maintenance. There were 35 completed by groundskeepers, 11 by pesticide applicator, 23 by irrigation crews, for a total of 622.25 hours. So I'll get into projects, and I have something really fun that I'm really excited to show you that we're working on. At Dunsmore Park, this isn't the one, it's later. At Dunsmore Park, we installed a new drinking fountain, which is what kind of the model we're looking at going at throughout the parks. And you can see the guys had to do a lot of plumbing to make it happen. And that was Francisco, this is Anthony, and that's the drinking fountain once it had been installed. They used the existing pad, but they had to drill into the concrete with new anchors and run new drain and copper lines to the drinking fountain. At Montrose Library, again, the irrigation crew replaced an old backflow that was out of compliance. This is a pressure vacuum breaker, and then they replaced it with an RP device. That's Anthony. They do really nice, clean work. It's really nice to look at it as a landscaper. It's nice to see how clean their jobs are. It was Anthony working, and that was the job once it was complete. So now we're in compliance with the backflow device at Montrose Library. At Cerritos Park, they planted new bare root roses there, and that's Gonzalo, who you just recently met. They took out old roses and they were putting in all new bare root roses. So they did a nice job, and I anticipate that this spring and next it'll look great down there with lots of flowers. There's Gonzalo again, working hard. He is a very hard worker. There's the progress of the job. Hopefully I can show you nice pictures of it in spring when it has flowers on it. Gonzalo again. At Car Park, we got some pretty heavy tagging there over the last few months, and the guys went in and repainted the wall very quickly, I might add. They were out there. We try and get onto the graffiti as quickly as possible so it doesn't add up on top of itself. And that's Eric Nuno. That's actually Jose Nuno, who you met just recently. That's his son on the ladder. Working hard to cover that all up. There's the final product. They had painted over the whole thing. They do get to it really quickly, which is great. At Dorton Gardens, we're actually redoing some irrigation, so we did some removals there. And we're going to add some grass in one area where it would be right next to the playground. I think it would be really good. So they went in and did removals and then went back and changed out a lot of the irrigation. So that was them in progress, the irrigation truck in the back there. And then this is what I was very excited to show you. We've started a training program for our gardeners, groundskeepers, all of them, and seasonals, where we're doing horticultural workshops is what we're shooting to do, as opposed to sitting them in a classroom, where we're actually doing workshop, getting work done in the parks, and they get hands-on training with horticultural processes. So this was our tree maintenance class, which was very nice because we partnered with forestry from Public Works to make this happen. So forestry actually conducted the training for us and went through and showed the guys and gals how to trim the trees, stake the trees, when to remove stakes, when it's appropriate to remove stakes, and then about mulching of trees and the importance of developing a strong root base through the addition of mulch. And so that's just one of the young trees that was in the park, and that's the group there being led by forestry, are the ones in the safety vests, because they work out on the streets where we work in the parks. This is them unloading the mulch, where they actually, this is the part of the training that I love so much, is that these are workshops where they actually get work done in the parks. They can see what they're learning. It's not abstract, it's very hands-on. And so they actually spread the mulch around the base of the trees and learn the proper way of doing it, because there is a proper way of doing it from the guys in forestry. That's J-Rod and Gonzalo again. There they are spreading you see, keep it away from the crown of the tree, the base of the tree, I should say, and get a nice ring around it that'll help the roots of the tree develop. This is them showing them the forestry. That's Marty and Eddie of forestry that are teaching them the right way to stake a tree and then tie it at the end, so that the tree can develop in a natural manner and have a good start. That's just the way the tree needs to be tied up. And there they are, sort of a finished product after having restaked the tree and then added the mulch and done some light pruning. And then we did a winter rose pruning training in Brand Park. As you all know, the entry to Brand has a substantial number of roses, so it's a great place to conduct a training and get a lot of work done in the park at the same time. So the guys came out, and Chemo, who was here, he conducted the training, that particular training. So we're going through different people conducting trainings and where their field of expertise is, or something that they really know a lot about. That's all the guys that were at the training. There's Chemo explaining everything to them. And that's a before picture, before they had actually done the hard pruning for the winter. That's another before. There's Chemo telling them how to do it. That's a close-up of them learning where to make the cuts for the plant to regenerate the most successfully, and more fine pruning there, but that's Chemo. And here's the guys all doing the work. So after they had done that, they had gotten the training, they were able to do all the roses at Brand, and then they could ask questions of Chemo. And so I think it was a very successful in that, being hands-on, they actually applied what they learned. And it is not, like I said, abstract for them. There they are doing the work, and chemo helping them out with it, cutting a sucker from a rose right there. And there's the before, and then they went in and got everything hard pruned. And again, this will look great in spring when we get a lot of flowers. So these are the types of trainings that we're going to do, and we're going to do them consistently and in various horticultural topics like fertilizers, soils, turf management. That's a big one. But we will work with them to really learn the science of what we're doing and apply the cultural methods of horticulture. And I'm really looking forward to them all learning. I think they were very excited. The groundskeepers were very excited about attending the training. So there's another after what it done. And that was my presentation, if anybody has any questions.
Just checking, not now, but with Fremont, as it's progressing, will you be doing some training? Because there'll be a lot of replanting going on there.
Oh, yes. That'll be a great training ground.
A big one, too.
Yes, very big. Yes,
Okay.
there's actually a lot of portions to the design that'll lend itself to training for horticulture, and then there's some decomposed granite. So the applications of decomposed granite, which how to keep it in place and grade
Rail
it
that
out.
they're
Yeah,
gonna build around.
that's correct. So yes, Fremont will be a wonderful place to train. We're trying to use as many parks throughout the city as possible because every park has something to teach the groundskeepers.
I think Fremont's a great place for off-roading as well. It's just liability issues with all the dirt.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, before you adjourn, I have something that I actually found out a few hours ago. So there was a press release today from California State Parks, the Department of Parks and Recs, and they had about $6.7 million in grants, of which they granted City of Glendale $336,250. So I don't know if you guys know about that yet, but unless I shouldn't have opened my mouth, but it was a press release, so it was official information. So they've given us a grant of $336,000.
Yes, President Pro Tem Wolfson, members of the commission, Commissioner Sardar Begin, yes, thank you. That was good news that we received. When I came in this morning at 8 o'clock, I had an email. So we're getting around a little over 300,000 to expand our nature education program. So the grant that we received from LA Metro that Mr. Garbidian was talking about, where we transport South Glendale residents up to Duke, we're going to be expanding that using these funds through, I believe, 2029, if I'm not mistaken. So it's all good stuff. And thanks for the state of California for providing us with those funds, allocating those funds, and special thanks to staff. I know Teresa, Mira, and Gabrielle worked tirelessly to submit that application, and sure enough, we were funded.
Good job.
Looking forward to additional funds. Our goal next couple of years is to fill out applications and apply for CIP capital improvement funds through the state of California as well as federal.
Excellent. Thank you. With that, I believe we're adjourned.
Skip today. I like days where I just get to sit back.